So today we will talk about the prompts. Okay, so prompts is means whenever you are running a report is asking user to input some values. So for example, this is a report I have created, and when I run this report, go to custom report. Here you can see run. Click on this. When I run this report, this report is asking some sort of input from me, right? So these are the prompts. So I have not configured these prompts at this point of time. These are built-in prompts coming with this data source filter, all active workers. Okay. So if I show you, if you go to the related action of this data source filter, here you can see contains built-in prompts, worker type, employee type, and contingent type. Okay, so from that it is by default coming. We can also create our own prompts. So that is what we are going to learn today. So now I'm going to edit. Let me, refresh this once. So in prompt, uh, you can see there are two checkbox. Okay, this display prompt value in the subtitle. What does that mean? So basically, when you run any report or when you are passing any value, this is going to show data in the output. In the output, just above the output report, you will see prompt values are also coming. Okay, so here, if I show you at this point of time, if I run this report, let me show you how it works. So I'm clicking on test. Let's say I'm giving worker type. One of the prompt in the one of the prompt, I'm just entering the value. Let's say just employee I need. Click on OK. So here you can see I have given the values for one of the prompt. Here you can see worker type is equal to employee. So this is what I have added in the prompts. So if you want to show your prompt values, whatever user is entering in prompt, if you want to show, you need to select that checkbox. And that's why it is showing here. The other two prompts, I have not passed any value. So those prompts are not coming. Okay. Now you can configure the prompt as well. In the prompt, oh, yeah. So this checkbox just now I showed you. Okay, whenever you are entering a value in the prompt, this is going to show that value when you are running the report. Now there is a populate undefined prompt defaults. This is by default unchecked. When I will check this box, what will happen? The default prompt, which is coming from either data source filter or field or business object, the default prompt will appear here for the configuration, and this will get auto uncheck. Okay, so let's say I'm showing you what I'm talking about. So I'm just clicking on this one. When I clicked on this one, execution is happening. You see here, you start seeing the prompts, default prompts, and automatically this is unchecked. So always this work like this only. So if you need to enable, let's say whatever default prompts or whatever prompts you are configuring, you're creating, if you want to populate all those prompts, you need to just check this checkbox. Once you click on checkbox, automatically all the prompts will appear here for the configuration, and then you can disable this will auto uncheck. Okay. Now here the three prompts which is coming, these are the default prompts coming from data source filter. Now Workday is allowing you to configure. Even if you do not show this prompt to any user while running the report, you can do that as well. So see, there are three prompts. Let's say I don't want to see contingent worker type. Here there is an option do not prompt at runtime. When you will uncheck this and when you will try to run the report, you will not see this as a prompt. Only these two prompts will appear. Okay, you can also make prompts required. So here none of the prompts are required. Now if I make worker type prompt is a mandatory, this means now without passing worker type you will not be able to run the report. This is a mandatory field. You need to pass value in this worker type. Okay. Now the third option here is do not include in subtitle. So this is basically the same thing. Here you have included whatever prompt values you are going to enter that should show while running the report. Now you can override this feature from these checkboxes. These two checkboxes are still available to prompt. Now if I say like do not include even though let's say even though you will pass the value but you don't want to show the past value in the report run, you can uncheck this. For example, let me I'm doing this one. And now, not this one, let's say this one, or let's say just, this one. Now click on OK, and let's just understand the behavior. I'm testing. See, one of the prompt is not appearing now because I have removed. I selected do not prompt while run. So basically, now that is not showing. Here, worker type is, I made worker type prompt is a mandatory. You can see star mark has been appeared here. So this worker type becomes mandatory now. And this employee type is not mandatory. Now, if I pass the values in, let's say here I'm passing employee, and here also I'm passing some values. Let's say I'm passing everything. Click on OK. When I clicked on OK, here in the subtitle, you can see only worker type is coming. Whereas I passed parameter in another field as well. That is not coming because I have restricted that from the configuration. So this is something you understood, right? The features, what is this one, what is this one, and what are these three options. Now, if you want to pass any default value, you can also pass the default value. For example, in worker types, this is a default. By default, there is no value. Okay. But here I want to populate by value by default. So if I need to do, I can just select specify default value. Here I can select, let's say employee. Then when you will run the report, automatically in the prompt field, you will see the value. Okay. So this means by this specify default value. Now, if you want to default value with some another thing, let's say you want to define value based on today's date, dynamic one. I mean, you want to every time you just want to pass today's date. Okay, then you can use determine value default value at runtime, and here in the default value you can configure the field from which the data is going to be derived. Okay, so this is what we do in the prompt. So now these are the default prompts. Let's say we want to create our own prompt. How will we do that? So I'm clicking on OK. No. Basically, I'm going in the filter. In the filter, I have added this. I'm just removing this country and all filter. Now entering hard coding value here directly. I don't want to hard code value. Instead, I want user to enter value while running the report in the worker. Okay, so there is no default uh, Sorry, so there should not be any default filtering. Instead, we just want to enter, we just want user to enter some values. Then what we can do is here in the selection, this worker, and in the selection, this is fine. In the comparison type, you will be having two more options. So yesterday we saw like there was one option which is helping in hard coding, another is which is helping in determining value from another field. So these are the four comparison types. Let it come. These are the four comparison type we have. Value specified in this filter, that means you have to enter the value, whatever you want to enter and do the comparison. Value from another field is like, the same thing. If you want to put some value dynamically, it should derive the value dynamically during runtime, then you can use value from another field. Let's say you want future hire workers. Okay, so who are the future hire workers? The worker whose hire date is greater than today's date. Because if someone's hire date is today, or the day before today, I mean in the past, those are the active ones. Okay, but we want future ones. So future ones are like, if anyone whose hire date is greater than today's date, those are future hires. So every day when you are running, let's say you have to analyze every day the future hire workers. Then you have to pass the date dynamically. So what you can do is you can use value from another field, and here in the comparison value, you can mention today. Oh, sorry. This is a worker. Actually, that is going to work uh, for the date field. Let me show you by adding another one. Come on. Sometimes this tenant goes really slow. So I'm using higher date. Now higher date in the selection, sorry, greater than equal to, or less than equal to. Less than equal to today's date. Value from another field. Here I'm mentioning today. So today is a field delivered by Workday. So this is global field actually. So when we will talk about calculated field, then we'll talk about global field as well. So let's say today, this is a today, and automatically while running the report, it will just take the data. Okay. Now here in the worker, I don't want to do hard coding. Instead, I want user to enter values. So what I'll do is there are two options for that. One is prompt the user for the value. Another is prompt the user for the value and ignore the filter condition if the value is blank. So basically, if you are using this one, the second one, in that case, what will happen? If you are not passing the value for that prompt, it is going to consider it is not going to consider that filter at all. In the first option, what will happen if you selected from the user for the value and you are not passing the value while running the report, it is going to return you blank data. Basically, it is going to compare with the blank, okay, garbage value. And in Workday, you will this report will not find any garbage value. So it's not going to give you anything. So I'm just clicking prompt the user for the value for now, and you can explore both the options. Come on. So now default prompt here already came. If I go to prompt tab now, this is how we create our own prompts. Okay, we have already created our own prompts. Now once we create, we have to enable this in prompt as well. So you again click on this one. When I click on this one, automatically the prompt which I have created, that is going to be added in this list for configuration. See, I have added a prompt in the filter worker. This row has been added here. Now here, if you want to specify any default value, you can do. Otherwise, if you want this to be entered during runtime, then you can do as well. So I'm clicking on OK. Yep. Now if I test, see, worker has appeared as a prompt. Okay. And then here in worker types, I have specified value, default value. By default, here employee is automatically coming. Now here in the worker, I can pass the value. And let's say one more profile, Jacqueline. Click OK. You can see records coming. Okay. And I have not restricted worker, from like, I have not selected do not include in the subtitle. And by default, there is a selection include in subtitle. That's why this is coming. Worker types employee by default, this is coming. And then here you can see the data, for both the workers. So now, this is how we configure prompts. The way I have configured in filter, you can configure in subfilter as well. The only thing is when you are configuring in the prompts, then uh, go to prompt tab and then you just select undefined prompt checkbox. Okay. And then it will give you for the further configuration. And now you can explore other options. Okay. So come on. Edit. So this is how we create. You can explore another option. If I would not pass anything with this prompt option, then it's not going to return anything. This is something you can explore. You do hands-on by yourself and then you explore. So what you do is your activity will be you create a advanced report the way I have created. Creating with whatever fields you create that one report, and further that you can create a report with any other fields. Okay, so this is how you're going to practice the activities which is being done in the class, and then you can do your own practice as well. So your activity will be when you are going to create advanced report, You one time you just use the prompt user for the value, and then you do not pass any value, see what is coming. Okay, then you pass the value and see what is coming, and then you remove this one, prompt the user for the value, and select another comparison type, prompt the user for the value and ignore if the value is blank, and then see when you are not passing any value what is happening. Okay, so it is like create advanced report first. Now first is select comparison type, prompt user for the value, and after that do not pass value and run the report. Second one, pass the value and run the report. And same you do with another prompt type. Here, instead of this one, you use okay, prompt the user value and ignore if the value is blank. Okay, so this is something you do by yourself. You will explore and then you will understand. If there's any question, let me know. And also apply to do some prompting in your sub filter as well. I have used in the filter, you try in the sub filter. So this is what is prompt. Now coming to the output tab. In the output tab, you have some of the options like how you want output type to appear as. Here you will see couple of options. This is something I'm leaving for you guys to explore. Here you can, we generally, we are going to use table only. Okay, this is how we generally used to give the data. But there are other chart and table. You can explore that one as well. Okay. Now here, the one thing which I think Sweta, you questioned in one of the session, if you are creating any report and if you want to add instructions or the description of the report so that when anyone is referring to report, they understand why this report has been created, what is the function of this report, what data this report is extracting, you can put your description here in the help text. Okay, so when you add here, it is going to show you the details. So let's say I'm creating this report has been created for just demo purpose. Click OK. Oh, you can configure your comments and brief description now here itself. This is nice. Okay, so they have added this feature. So basically now you can add the description here instead of that help text. You can add the description directly here, and you can also put the comments, just for your own tracking. Anyways, you will be having audit trail. When you will go to the related action, then you will be having audit trail option, and there you can see like when which user has added columns, remove columns, or what changes the user has done on what particular date. Everything you will be able to see in the audit trail. But this is another thing which Workday has given, so which is nice. Okay. There is one thing which you can do. So let's say you have the finalized version of this report and you have to keep the proof. Let's say today you have completed all the testing and this report is configured in this way and you have to pass this report. Now, what happened? You passed this report, and 2 days after, someone else came, and they just changed some of the field. And when UAT has started, then it looks like okay, this report has been changed by someone, and they are not getting the desired output. So what you can do is here you can see one Excel button, right? This is Excel button. So let's say you have finalized this configuration. What you can do is you just click on this Excel. It is going to export the configuration, current configuration. Okay. And then you can attach like you have passed the test case using this current configuration. If someone is changing report after that, it's a different thing. Okay, that anyways that will be a different story. So you can just download and attach the Excel sheet with the recent configuration. So I don't have much experience in testing, but when I have worked with testing team a lot of times, but they have never they're not adding any kind of links and all. Mostly they used to document everything by attaching the screenshot or just extracting the configuration, and they are just adding these kind of things in the test cases. Guys, you have tenant access. I would say you explore this prompt tab. Whatever we have discussed, you explore the options which I have not shown you by doing. You can just do those, you just practice those options. If you will be having any issues, just let me know. Okay. Now in output tab, we have seen in output there is not much. We don't do much. Now there is another tab which is share tab. That is important. Share report with individual as well as with security group. Okay, so I'm showing you what is that. So now let's say you have created this report. Now you are the owner of this report. You have created this report. You have not shared this report with anyone. So when you will not share this report with anyone, nobody will be able to see this report apart from report admins. Okay, report admins can view any report. So when you are not sharing this report, other people will not be able to see the report. They will not be able to run the report. Report admin can do anything. So just ignore that part. Now here in the share, if you go, then there are a couple of options. Okay. Right now, report is owned by Jacqueline. I have created the report. That is why this is owned by me at this point of time. You can change the report ownership as well. Also, if you want this report to be shared with other people, let's say here, let's say Dilip has created the report, and when Dilip has created, Satish and Nishant is working with Dilip only. So when Dilip has created a report, what he wants is he wants this report to be accessible to Satish and Nishant as well. So what he can do is he can share this report. So there are three options. One is if you don't want to share report definition, by default it will be this one only. Then another is share with all authorized users. Share with all authorized users. This means whatever columns, whatever data source you have added in this report, whatever fields, whatever data source you have added in this field, whoever is having access to all these fields, data sources, they will be able to access the data. They will be able to access the report. The most frequently used is the last one. Share with specific authorized groups or users. Okay, so let's say Jacqueline has created this report. She wants this report to be shared with Logan McNeil. She can add Logan McNeil name here, and this report will be shared with Logan McNeil as well. She is the super user, by the way. So Logan, now this report has been shared with Logan McNeil. You can add multiple users as well here if you want to share with multiple people. Now let's say not you don't want to share this report with the people. You want to share this report with one specific set of group of people. Let's say HR admin, payroll, sorry, payroll admin, compensation admin, Or let's say you have created a new security group and you want to share this report with that security group. So you will be able to add here. Say you want to share this report with report admin. Come on. Oh, they have manipulated the security as well. But here you can add the security groups for whatever security group you want to share. Here you can see HR administrator. You can share with HR administrator. If you want to see integration administrator, whatever security group with you want to share, you can share. So once you share this report, uh, okay, let's say HR integration admin. There is, in the tenants you will see integration admin, report admin, all those admin roles you will see. This is a manipulated tenant. That's why you see like this. So what does this mean? When I'm sharing with HR administrator, that means whoever user belongs to this security group, member of this security group, they will be able to access this report. Okay, so this is what sharing means. Now I'm moving to the advanced tab. So in the advanced tab, the first option we have already discussed, optimize for performance. When you select this, it will allow you to use only index fields in the filter. If you uncheck this, then it will allow you other fields as well. Okay. Then there is one more important field here, which is enable safe parameter. So this enable safe parameter means what it is doing is, let's say I'm running the report. I am testing the report, and to test the report, I have to pass the same parameter multiple times to run the report. Okay, what I can do is I can save the parameters as well. Okay, so let's say this one. I am enabling this one, clicking on OK. Here I'm passing Logan McNeil. Let me pass the parameter first, and then Jacqueline. Yeah, so I have passed this too. And then I don't want to pass every time, when I run the report. Instead, I just want this filter to be saved. So here I can give the filter Ganesh, click on save. It will save the filter. Yeah. So now, I have executed. Now, if I try to run this report again, see by default here nothing, it is not filled up. But here you can see one saved filter. So you can just click on this. See, this is the filter which I have saved. You can say multiple filters as well. When I click on this, automatically it will be filled up. I'm not gonna give anything. See, automatically this has been filled up. Okay. Now when you click on OK, it is going to execute with that filter. Okay, so I'm just stopping here today only.